Hey, happy day. The Prime Minister of Canada, you know what I gotta say? He's an embarrassment, but in addition to being an embarrassment, his stick is not on the ice. He needs to get his stick in the ice, and let me tell you that Scheer and all the other Conservatives always want to tell Canadians about that stick not being on the ice. In other words, how bad he is. Trudeau's such a bad guy, and this is what Scheer's now saying. He's weak. This is Trudeau. We have proven that he's beatable because we now forced him to have a minority government, and he's proud of that. Don't be so proud. I almost think that his dad, Pierre Elliott Trudeau, had a plan to be a minority government because that changed the complexion of the entire nation way, way back when, okay? What happened is the Liberals, a lot of people in the Liberal Party then were kind of business people, but then he had a minority government, and the commies said, we'll prop you up, but you got to do what we say. And that happened, and the country got changed. It's been irreversible ever since. Now we're in that position once again, because it's no longer a Liberal Party, and now the NDP and the Greens and all the other whacks are saying, do what I say, do what I do, or else we'll get you out of power. These guys just have to stay in power. That's what they're all about. This is a very, very bad thing. And then you have guys like Scheer saying, we've proven that we can win. You've only proven that you're dumb. Fix this. How do you fix it? Don't keep telling us about Trudeau. We get it. We know how bad he is. Tell us what you're going to do. Okay? But they never do that. I mean, the Conservative Party is really the problem. Scheer's kind of the problem, but he's just the messenger. The message has to change. They're now talking about bringing people like Peter MacKay and Rona Ambrose back into the party. But they're the problem too, right? It's the same deal. They would deliver the problem better. They're better messengers, maybe better talkers, but at the end of the day, it's still the same. There's nothing conservative about their makeup, and that's what Canada needs. You need a better message. Alberta, Canada. Alberta has 10% of federal seats and 0% of federal representation in the House of Parliament, and 100% damage has been done to its economy by the 90% of the elected members. Okay? In addition, Alberta has 5% of Canadian Senate seats. The unelected body, that body, has the ability now to stop any rule of law passed by the elected members of Parliament anyway, and everything seems to be aimed at Alberta to hurt Alberta. Nice place to live. Hey, son of a gun. Liberals hate Alberta. I don't get it. I mean, if it wasn't for Alberta, these guys would all be, I don't know what, driving little go-karts without gasoline, using their feet like Fred Flintstone, because Alberta is a big deal in terms of the Canadian economy, but Liberals hate Alberta. Close to 300,000 guns are registered in Alberta. It's guessed that there's 4 million guns there in Alberta or more, and they hate gun people too, and they're after Albertans for the natural gas, the oil, the guns, all the things that the good people are happy to have and they're happy to do. It's a hate crime, don't you think? It's a hate crime against Alberta from the Prime Minister. That silly guy, back to the stick on the ice, for heaven's sakes. There's a realtor in Kelowna, jumping, keep up with me. He's a real estate agent. He worked at Century 21, and he received death threats after making controversial social media comments about Albertans. Kelowna, Century 21 realtor Ben Houghton was suspended from the firm following this Facebook post. Albertans are crybabies. Don't worry, Alberta, your greed will soon be back in full swing. True words from a communist kind of guy, right? Why would you suspend him? I mean, right of free speech. I mean, the concept here is the free market would ignore him. He's a moronic kind of a guy, right? Short for moron. So just kind of leave him alone. People like him destroy themselves anyway quickly. One last thing for the day. Jumping over now to the United States. But this also has an impact on Canada. 9 Americans were murdered just the other day. I'm sure you heard about it. It was a terrible, terrible tragedy, a group of Mormons. And now people on Fox News, CNN, and other things are saying, I know how to fix this. Most of them are saying legalize drugs, right? Okay, let's drill down on that. If you legalize drugs, right now there's upwards to 40,000 homicides a year with all these bad guys in Mexico. So if you legalize it, Trump is saying, let's have a war, let's go wipe them out. And then other people are saying, we have supply and demand. We have a big demand in America, so you need the supply, right? So what do? Well, I know one thing. If you legalize it, these are bad guys. They're just going to go to kidnapping or something else, robbing banks. I mean, they're not going to disappear. They're not going to say, I guess I got to get a job at 7-Eleven now because you took away my drug stuff. That's not going to happen, right? So that's not the answer. There's an answer. I think they should listen to Trump because that would help Canada as well. Hey, y'all, come back here tomorrow. We're going to have more for you from the right. See ya.